Good evening, Steelers, and welcome to live paint and chat. As I'm trying to do these more regularly, as always on a Tuesday night. Got quite a bit to do tonight. Or what I want to do tonight is the remains of the American battalion that I got for O Group before the rest of the support units turn up. So I've got these over here. This is the last company. They're ready to be based. They've been varnished, ready to be based. So I'm going to do that, get them done. They're out of the way then. And then I've got combat patrols over here. And I've also got the battalion HQ as well over here for it. And on top of that, I've also got a couple of bazooka teams and foo as well, and some snipers. But these are all going to need... Evening, Carl. These are all going to need highlighting. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to get these highlighted. I'm going to get these finished with their bases. Then these will need varnishing, but I'm not going to do that. Well, I'll do it after the stream. Evening, Andy. I'll do it after the stream because it's a lot of spraying and stuff. Good evening, Carl. I realised, don't worry. So I'll do the highlighting, put them to one side, and I'll sort those out, and then I'll probably finish those off tomorrow at some point when I get a chance tomorrow evening. But I'm just going to work my way through these first of all tonight. So I'm going to work my way through those first of all tonight, and then if I do get a chance, I'm probably going to try and build the at least the bodies for these Churchills as well that I've got here. Good evening, Dex. Good evening, Charles. Good to have you all on board. So. This might be a bridge too far, but we'll see. We'll just see how we go. I'd just like to get them started. I've also got a bunch of late war British combat patrols and HQs to do and stuff as well. So that's not going to be done tonight, but that is my next plan. As soon as I wanted to get these Americans out of the way, off the tabletop, and then I can start working on the other bits and pieces that I need to put together for evening shakers and sprues, for putting together the rest of the stuff. So, first things first, let's get messy with these chaps, and let's just do what needs to be done with their bases, so that at least I can get them out of the way and then they're done. And that is the final company finished, which is what I've been working towards this last week or so. I think I started these just over a week ago. I kind of proved to myself that I can do a battalion in a week if needs be. Not that I really need many other battalions. I've got Americans, I've got British, I've got Germans, I've got Russians, I've got Japanese, I've got British Far East, I've got Romanians. Evening, Kevin. Good to have you on board. I don't know what else I would want at this point, to be honest. But they're relatively cheap. I mean, the Plastic Soldier Company box set with about 144 figures in was exactly enough pretty much to do the American battalion, including my combat patrols as well. I don't think I needed any more than that, so it's perfect. So if the Plastic Soldier Company do have, if they do start bringing out other box sets of other figures and things, at least I can get those done as well. I can get a battalion out of those. What's everybody else painting out there tonight in Steelerland? Let me know. This is probably going to be the last live stream for a couple of weeks. Well, I've got one kind of half planned. Maybe Friday night I might do another Hearts of Iron stream because I enjoyed it, and it did actually get a lot of views as well. One of the highest viewing live streams I've done because it's a popular game, and it was fun. And I got the First World War version of the game as well the other day, so I might go back to that just for shits and giggles. If everybody's interested, that'll be on Friday. But I'll see how I feel. But yeah, I'm going this time next week. I'll be packing to go to Austria for 10 days, so there won't be any live streams, and videos will slow down a little bit while I'm away, as they always do. But obviously, as soon as I get back, I'll start putting them out again. but at least this week I'll probably put out one before I've got a video for the end of the week. Patreons should have had their updates of it, and they should be able to access it. If you go and check out my Patreon, you'll see the links to the game that's coming out this week, which is an Algernon Pulls It Off, and that's going to be the next one this week. Oops, I'm sorry, paintbrushes about. So, what's everyone painting? First World War British and some pirates. Painting some 15mm 17th century Irish Confederates. Makes a change from sodding gardens. 28mm Romans. Good stuff. Quite a good variety, as always. So I've already got the bases painted for these underneath. So this is the blue company. What were you saying now about 15mm early mid-war German cavalry? Look good on the Eastern Front. Yeah, potentially. I don't know if I'd be bothered to paint a full battalion's worth though. Be quite a lot. Hardly getting any painting done at the moment. I'm getting to the end of a 12th Scythian noble cavalry of 15mm. Okay, well, you know, it's not a contest. It's, just do what you can when you can, innit? That's the way I deal with it. Sometimes I can't always be asked to do anything, so I'll just sit and play a computer game or watch telly or something for the night instead. I do like to keep relatively active, but sometimes you just can't be bothered, can you? So yeah, let's get these ones done. It's a nice little easy job this, just to do the finishing touches. I'll put a few when the PVA is dried, I'll put a few tufts and stuff on these as well, just to get them done and out of the way. Don't forget, 11 people watching, 6 likes. Hit that like button if you're watching and enjoying it. It's all appreciated. I hope you can all see what I'm doing here. Just using the PVA ever so slightly watered down, just so it flows a bit better, just on the bases, and then I'm just using this static grass. I think this is Javis stuff. This is the railway modelling stuff. It's what I use because it matches my tabletop. I think it looks okay. It kind of blends with the grass mat that I've got. It's a pretty good colour. What do you say you're doing, Charles? You're working on terrain, finishing your ogres. This week my first Napoleonic troops. Excellent. Which Napoleonic troops are you painting, Charles? British, French? What scale as well? That's the other thing. I was looking. I was out for a meeting at work, a walk around meeting. We were walking around a reservoir, and as I was going round, I was thinking about Napoleonic War game. I was thinking about Blucher and how if it would be easily turned into a grid-based game, a bit like Strength and Honour that's coming out. Because one of the things I don't like about Blucher is the fixed movement. So I don't like fixed movement anymore these days. I find it very old school. And I was just thinking of a way of getting around it. And one way I thought was doing it by grid squares. And as would happen, somebody has already done one. I got it off the files of the Sam Mustafa Facebook page. Oh, Flintlock. And it was and it looks very similar to the kind of the ideas I had in my head about it, about what to do, how to do it. I think it would work pretty well, Blucher in grids. It just makes things a lot quicker. I don't mind grid-based games because you know exactly where everything is then, and given that they're supposed to be brigade level size figures or size bases, it's as abstract as the rest of the rules, if you know what I mean. Got some Prussian, French and British 28mm all infantry figures for now. What are you going to be playing with them, Charles? Sharp practice? We got another idea in mind. I'm going to be down the club on Thursday. I'm taking Algernon Pulls It Off because it's a good multiplayer game. There's a few people that want to try it out, so I thought we played it before down at the club, and it's good because it turns into chaos. The right laugh. That's what I'm looking forward to. That'll be on Thursday. But I've got a long drive ahead tomorrow. I've got to go up to Warcop for a meeting, for a conservation meeting at 10 o'clock. It's a 2-hour drive. You misread it. Presume the ogres were Napoleonic. Yeah. Never really got into flintlock. Somebody once gave me some figures for it years and years ago, but it just was never really my thing. Too fantasy, innit? Oh, you're coming down for the algae game, are you? You're coming down to the club, are you? Excellent. Small skirmishes. Fistful of lead rules. Okay. Don't know those. Oh, thingy, sharp practices a skirmish as well. I've been getting into that of late. You only need about 40 men each side. You're coming down to the you're coming down the club then, are you, Shakos? Or is Shakos and Sprues James? Is that who you are? I can never remember. I had too many pseudonyms out there. Ah, larger fights, classic Napoleonics. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the classic Napoleonic is a big battle, isn't it, really? They take so bloody long to paint the figures up. God, 16 of you are watching right now, and there's only 6 likes there. If you're watching it, you must be enjoying it. Hit that like button. Fill my heart with pride. Evening, friends of General Haig. Tardy arrival, don't worry about it. You're allowed to come whenever you want. Don't worry. Turn up as you like. Yeah, it's James. Aha, there you go. Excellent. Good stuff, James. Yeah, it should be fun. It's a great multiplayer game. Like I say, lots of chaos. And it's nice and simple as well, so it's easily pickable, easy to pick up. Just need to work out what would you say units we've got. What units I'm going to take down. Well, I'll take everything with me anyway, but work out a game for it. As you're here watching the live stream, James, have you got any preference? Do you want to be German or British? There you go. You can have first choice. And any particular aircraft as well. Let me know. Sorry, I should be doing this in the light, shouldn't I? Only a couple more of these to go now, and then I can get working on the others. The quicker I can get them out of the way, the better. I think. I just want to, like I said, I just want to kind of crack on and get these things done. So I've got a full battalion because today I also bought what you call it, a set of American heavy weapons support box from the Plastic Soldier Company. So I wanted to get this lot done before I got those. Afternoon, Richard. Good to have you on board. All I have been enjoying a case of pneumonia. Oh no. Oh dear. I hope you get over it quick. Doesn't sound good. I also bought some. I've been trying to go back to some of my old terrain as well, because I've got some Russian farms in MDF, and I never liked the roofs because they're just MDF blocks. So I went back. You're happy with anything, even Germans? I went back and I put some corrugated iron sheeting on the top of a little pigsty that I've got, a little Russian pigsty. So I did that, and then I thought I want to do something with the roofs of the other buildings. So I was going to do some thatched roof, but the other day I decided I didn't want any teddy bear fur anymore, so I've thrown it away. This is what happened, you see. And then I decided I was going to do thatch roofs on these buildings, so I realised I'd thrown the teddy bear fur away, so I couldn't actually do them. So I ordered some tiles from some building tiles from Sarissa today, and because they charge so much for their postage, about £5, I thought, well, while I'm here, I might as well get something else, hadn't I, just to make it worthwhile. So I got a little compound building, a colonial compound building. So, and I thought that'll do for Malaya. A nice little, it'll go together with the little hotel building that I've got. So they're on their way to me. What are we on about? What are we saying? Isn't the First World War aircraft like World War II tanks? The Germans are better specs. Yeah, I disagree with that. Check out the SE-5A or the Sopwith Camel, the aircraft that shot down more aircraft than any other aircraft in the First World War. Also the Bristol fighter. The Fokker D7 was fantastic. That was a really good aeroplane. It was so good it was banned by the Treaty of Versailles after the war, but Germany weren't allowed to produce anymore. It was that good. But overall, I'd say the British aircraft were superior, especially stuff like the SE-5 when it became the SE-5A. What else are we saying? Dex says, where are you buying your Frames of War and PSC stuff? Somewhere local? Just online. Dex, I get it online. I'll go for me PSC stuff. I just get it straight from them. I bought Flames of War stuff from Battlefront as well. Just go on their websites and get them from those, because fortunately there's nobody really local to me in Rotherham that actually stocks what I want. So I would support them if there was somebody I could support, but there isn't. Well, saying that, the last Bastion shop close to me, they might have it, but I've not checked for a long time. They'd had some Flames of War stuff, but I'm always very specific about what I'm buying, you see, so it's not like I'll just go in and just pick up a box of Germans, random Germans. They'll have to be for a reason, for a specific project reason, so that's why it happens. What are we saying? You see some trucks on the bench today. Evening, Thomas. Good to have you working on the WLG wrecked house model. Built out of some rubble climbed. Yeah, these trucks, I got these actually from one of the guys at the club. And these are Svedza's Opel Blitzers. I got so far as building them and undercoated a couple of them, and I was going to turn them into wrecks. I just haven't got around to it yet. They'll get done. They'll get done. That's a relief. Yes, it is. You're going to start building a 38T tank platoon. Just Pedding House decals from them. Don't know Pedding House decals, but I'm assuming they're pretty good. Yes, the British aircraft were pretty bloody good in the First World War. I mean, they did have air supremacy in 1918, which helped massively. Right. So, like I say, until about mid 17, they were definitely on the back foot. They were used a lot of outdated and outclassed aircraft, but by 1918 they'd surpassed the Germans definitely easily. The Germans also, I mean, you know, industry was suffering, so they just couldn't build that many of them, kind of thing. It's they were because they were on the defensive as well. They were always just on the back foot anyway. So yeah. Peter Hart has written a couple of very good books about them, about air combat. Bloody April and Falling Aces. Evening, Laser Pirate. Steve, good to have you on board. They're very good, well worth checking out. Very readable. full of daring do. Oh, for the Smolensk campaign. Okay, good stuff. Right, so I've got my little battalion HQ here, and I've got to put a little Rex building on it. So I'm just going to dry brush some of this brick just to pick bits of it out, and I'm going to put rubble on this base. I've been making these battalion HQ bases like a little vignettes for O Group. They're just dice holders, but they just look nice. Chain of command, of course. Good stuff, good stuff. So I asked about if anybody would be interested in a O Group how to play video, and loads of people have asked for it in the in my work hobby update on Sunday. So it looks like I'm making a O Group how to play video at some point soon. It's probably going to be the next big thing, because they always take a long time to make those how to play videos. Well, they take a long time to write. I've got to write the script first. Once I've written the script, the rest of it kind of falls together a bit easier. You watched a Tick video recently about how the Luftwaffe couldn't dominate the air during World War II. Series of bad decisions. Yeah, always the problem. Lose the air, and you lose the battle, basically. Both First and Second World Wars are 3D battles, and if you fail to recognise that, then you are going to not be a happy bunny. That's for sure. Super new to all this. Was mainly Hex and Counter guy for 35 years. Wily gaze with a fistful of lead, open your eyes. Painted all my old raw path of figures DD last century and wanted more. Good. There's nothing wrong with that. There's always welcome in the wargaming world for new faces, Charles. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Hex and counter games is something I've never really been into. I mean, I'm aware of them, of course, but they've always just seemed incredibly complicated to me. I've tried them in the past, but I've just always been overwhelmed by how complex they are, how much you have to remember. But, you know, they're incredibly popular as well, aren't they? And there's some great lucky ones as well, if nothing else. And another good thing is, because they all fit into a box, it's easy to carry about, and you don't have to paint anything. Did you paint ASL? Play ASL? That's a game I've never played. That was meant to be very complex, when they had a binder for the rules. I think at that point I would probably just give up. I like things that are pretty snappy, that I can generally hold in my head. So these are the combat patrols. So you don't really need these for our group, but because they're on the table for quite a long time, I just thought they're going to look nice, aren't they? Rather than just little pieces of paper floating about, I'd rather have some figures doing something. They just look better, more interesting. Should take some of this stuff to a show, really. Blue Max with X on the base model. Yeah, I've got thingy, Richthofen's War, which is a simpler version of Blue Max. I've always heard good things about Blue Max. I was chatting to Alex down at the club about it the other week, because Paul was trying to palm another copy of Richthofen's War onto me. So he got a copy of it. He was trying to give it to me, so I've already got one. It's probably the oldest game I've got, actually. I think I bought it when I was about 13 in Scarborough. There used to be a little wargaming and a coin collecting shop in just underneath the Grand Hotel in Scarborough. That's where I used to go and get my stuff, and I got Richthofen's War from there one year when we were on holiday. And I've had it ever since. Who else we're on to here? Did you play Black Mike's a copy of the solo wargaming guide, William Sylvester? Okay, and some LSL. Evening, Dom. Good to have you on board. I hope your missus is all right, Dom. I hope she's in good health, or better health than she was yesterday. What are you painting tonight, Dom? Do let us know. Come on, we got 20 viewers out there. Only 10 likes. Hit that like button. I'm going to keep saying it until you all do it. You know, that's all you're going to get tonight. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If I don't stop saying it, you're not going to do it, am I? Or if I do say it. Sorry, I'm tired. Yes. So what I've done is I've used up some of these signalers guys for the combat patrols here for a group, because there's no point having loads and loads of foos, but there's a couple of guys with field radios, so I thought they would be out front, you know, signalling back what's happening and stuff like that. ASL was your first war game. Still remember reading for weeks to figure out the rules. It's funny, isn't it? All good. She's a bad patient though. I'm sure you're a good doctor or a good nurse. Yeah. I paint some Perry, Bill and Poe for Bill and Bo for War of the Roses. What do you play with War of the Roses, Dom? So I was listening to the Little Wars interview with the writer of Nevermind the Billhooks. Can't remember his name. Stephen Callan. It was just interesting listening to him talking about his rule mechanisms and things and what he uses and how he plays the game. It's on the Little Wars Patreon, Little Wars FM thing that you can get if you're a Patreon of theirs. And it's a period I've never... Well, I went to Towton Battlefield when I was working up there. I was doing a watching brief at a small village. Somebody was building an extension, so I had to go over and I had to go and watch their foundation digging for any archaeology. And while I was up there, I called in at Towton. Not that there's a great deal to see. I mean, it's just a field, but there's a little walk around the site and some notice boards and stuff about the archaeological work that went on there as well. It's done by Tim Sutherland, and they excavated the mass grave and things, and it kind of ignited a little spark in me. You know how sometimes these things do with when it comes to wargaming. I was just thinking, oh, I could do some War of the Roses. You know, we're talking like 10 years ago now. You play Hail Caesar in Martin's adaptation of Rick Breese's Ornaments. They work well. Yeah, cool. Tested your Army Painter Speed Painter set. I am unimpressed. If you do not seal Speed Painter, it bleeds through reactivating light and never tries a little water around. Oh dear. I've heard that, Richard. I've heard that quite a lot. That yeah, you have to seal the stuff before you paint any highlights on it. But I thought stuff like the speed painters and the contrast paints, I thought they were supposed to just be like a one layer thing, weren't they? You know, I think it's us painters who decide to do all the highlights and stuff, and that's probably where the issues start to come through. If you just paint them as blocks, I think they probably work all right. I mean, I wasn't overly impressed by the contrast paints. Obviously, everybody has a completely different way of dealing with these things, and you know, some people love them, some people don't. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah, the one thing I don't like about this set of Americans is there's 5 bazooka teams in it. And the set that I'm getting as well, the heavy weapons set, also has something like another 4 bazooka teams in it. So I'm going to have a million bazooka teams, which I'll probably never use. But I just can't resist not painting them up. You know, that's the way it is. Liked and shared, thank you, Richard. That's great. Also, if you haven't, go and join the Facebook group for Storm of Steel and post some stuff in there as well. Post some pictures, get it moving. We're just past 200 members today, which I'm pretty chuffed at. having only had it open for a few weeks as well. But yeah, get in there, and also invite your friends and stuff as well. Go and send invites out. I'll let people join as soon as I see the thing. As soon as I see their request. You found that doing the highlights before using the speed paint works like a treat. Okay, same with the contrast paints as well. Okay, do they dry over the top of highlights? I suppose if the highlight is already there, then yeah, they're going to, aren't they? It's because you're not putting wet paint on them again. That might be worthwhile trying out. Good little tip. But I'm too stuck in my ways to change. Like I say, I tried out the contrast paints, and they didn't really do a great deal for me. I'm getting a message here from. There we go, get that out of my way. Bash those bazookas into BARs or riflemen. I would do, but I don't have any BARs or riflemen to put on them, or rifles to put on them. That and using a bit of wash to desaturate the colours also helps, but then not really to historical, so that's just fair enough. You pre-ordered speed painter but cancelled it due to the reactivating issue. Ah, okay. So you not even tried them out, Dom. You jumped out of the ship before it even set sail. Right, that's the flesh done on those. When I say at the moment, I'm just going to work all my way through these, get these finished up, then I'll finish off the bases for that company, and then I'll see where I am, and I'll see if I can maybe start on those Churchills tonight, but I'm not going to push it. We'll just see what happens. What it's saying, they do indeed. You just drive some light colours over a darker colour and hit it with the speed paint, and voila, jobs are good and fine. No one makes 15mm weapon sets for bashing minis. No, they don't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they don't. But to be honest, 15mm it'd drive me mad doing conversions on these. Evening, Andrew. Maybe your 3D printing. Yeah, maybe. But as I say, it'll probably drive me mad for the sake of doing a few. Just to do a few figures to get some extras. I'll just buy some from Peter Pig. The effort on my part is what it's all about. That I'm lazy. You know, I've got more than enough riflemen here. What I did want to do though with this box set was use some of these for chain of command, but mount them individually. But basically, O Group has completely sucked up all of the figures. So I ain't got none for chain of command. Well, I've got some others for chain of command, but I just wanted some fresh ones since I was painting these. So now I'm just highlighting the jackets, stone grey. Shouldn't take too long. Oh, the wee brush. What are we all doing out there? What are we saying? You found they're quite good paints, but they are not the all-in-one solution that we're touted to be. Then again, what is exactly that? What is? Nothing is. You're basing your Victrix Normans, painting periplastic Afghans and Zulus. Good stuff. Evening Wardrobe. King Steeler. Thank you very much. I realised as well, because I'm going away next week, I might actually hit my 7,500 target, which I was saving a special release for, so I might have to put it back and do it at the 8,000 instead, because I'm going to be away when I was planning on doing the competition, and I might not get a chance to run the competition to my usual to the standard I would like, so it may have to wait. I've still got the prize sitting over there behind me, so I might just may have to wait on a little while. Either way, glad to join your live for once. Good stuff. Good to have you on board. What was it? Added to the fuel to keep the algorithm smouldering. Good man, good man. What are you saying? Painting more 17th century Polish cavalry. Trying a new very, very dark brown primer rather than black. I'd use. I've used brown in the past, like shit brown, you know, burnt umber. I've used that in the past as an undercoat, because black is a little bit too stark, I think, and it really does affect the paints above it, whereas brown is a little bit more organic, if you know what I mean. So it just kind of feels a bit better as an undercoat, especially like for things what I'm painting, Second World War stuff, where it's all greens and browns anyway, because it's all camouflage or Second War uniforms. Yes, what did inspire you to try dark brown? You got some 50mm cowboys. With my carpal and mild arthritis, I find it difficult to paint decently. Not that my 28s are going to win any prizes. Okay, well, doesn't matter. You know, you're painting them, and if you enjoy painting them, that's the main thing, isn't it? Mine are never going to win any prizes, but it's all about, we all know it, 3 foot rule. If it looks alright from 3 feet away, then bam, it's alright. You know. Personally, I think even a half decent painted figure on the tabletop is a million times better than a non-painted figure on the tabletop. And I know some people will happily play with unpainted figures, and if they do, that's great for them, because at least they're doing some hobbying, aren't they? You're currently your 8 to 5 job. It's still 2:05 PM. Wow, okay. Display qualities is a profession. Yeah, not a hobby. Absolutely. Hoping it will give a warmer base to all me than Mary Brown's in. Yes. Also, as well, I sometimes use primers for the actual upper coats as well, because again, I'm lazy. So like if I've painted it in beige brown or something, I'll use that for for belts and things, or for rifles and stuff, and just not bother painting it again. It's even been known in the past that I've painted without a primer at all, just painted straight onto bare metal, and to be honest, I've never seen a difference. But then most of my stuff is 15mm, so that's a bit different, I guess. That's those ones done. Trying to work out which ones I've done here and which I haven't. Yeah, painted figure's always better than unpainted one. Everything must be painted. Yes, I agree. I mean, I think everything must be painted, but I also think if it gets somebody new to the hobby, if they're taking their time and they just want to play a game with some stuff, then grand, just crack on. I mean, I'm also big into terrain as well, but then there's people who are happy to play on bottle green tables, you know, or whatever. I don't like it much because I like the immersion of a lot of terrain and just making a table look interesting and putting things on it. But then saying that, the game of algae we're going to play on Thursday is just my hex mat, so relatively uninteresting. But it is a good hex mat. It's an aerial map. It's one of the ones from Deep Cut Studios. I'm really pushing through on these tonight, so I just want to get them out of the way. Colour and Painting did a very interesting video about brown zenithal. Oh, zenithal brown, eh? Yeah, okay. That would be interesting. Whatever works, isn't it? Zenithal painting's quite a modern technique, isn't it? I suppose it's with people with airbrushes and things. I think I first heard about it was what's the guy that painted all the Star Wars Legion stuff? Zorster or something? Zorace? I can't remember his name. He was doing it several years ago. I'm sure people have been doing it longer than that, but that was the first time I saw it. So I inherited a few 28mm Woodland Indians, mostly unpainted, and a few well painted. They forced me to create a skin tone wash to match them up. Good stuff. He changed from white undercoat to grey some years ago. I'll use black on some individual models depending on what they are. Yeah, I'm probably more... I swap around as well, to be honest. I was doing grey, and now at the moment I'm doing white. I guess with white it makes things a little bit brighter. And with the 15mm stuff, I kind of want stuff just to be a little bit brighter. I got fed up of having just these little brown blobs. Everything was just looked really murky. But again, I very rarely notice a difference, even with the different undercoats, and even sometimes just not bothering doing it. It's not often that I don't paint without a primer, because it's kind of like it's fixed into my brain. I'm supposed to be doing it. When it comes to colour choice, uniforms I always default to Osprey Publishing. Yeah, they're pretty good, the Osprey things. There's quite a few other good ones as well out there. These days, I mean, the internet is such a good source for things, and a lot of it is, I know a lot of it's people who scanned Osprey books and stuff, so it's a bit naughty, but I do have a massive collection of Osprey books over in the corner. But I was just thinking the other day though how often I don't get them out to paint uniforms, because I just have my computer open with a thing on it with a picture that I've found. I'll just refer to that. And that's what I did with the First World War aircraft. I just went through and found, I think it was Wings palette. Jim had told me, well, I knew about it in the past, but he reminded me of it. And it's a place where somebody's done loads of, basically found tons and tons of aircraft pictures and put them all together. And they I basically just catalogued them. So I just found interesting ones that I wanted to paint. Obviously not for the Royal Flying Corps, because they were all brown anyway, green. PC-10, everything was PC-10. So I'm soon that I see people talk about different undercoats, zenithals. Can't really see the difference either. You stick to your Halford's grey primer. Yeah, grey primer works perfectly fine. Yeah, you can find images quickly from the Osprey books for almost any uniform. Yeah, absolutely. People are just literally, in some of them, they have just scanned the entire thing up, haven't they? But yeah, I've never really, I can't remember thinking like, oh, that black undercoat has really improved the paint on that, or I suppose white undercoat it just means I can actually see a bit more detail on it. Black, it all just seems to blend together, but white kind of creates a bit more of a contrast when you're painting it. But I've never done any zenithal highlighting or zenithal undercoating. But I think again, it's one of the things where it's just it's a shortcut, really. And if it does help somebody to paint, then let them do it. But I'm just stuck in my ways with how I paint. I will occasionally change my techniques, but it's not so much to do with a new product or anything. It's more to do with just me trying something out. Just thinking, oh, shall I try it this way? And then realising that the way that I've been doing it all along was wrong. So I've got a ton of badly painted figures, and then I've got a handful of well painted ones. Yeah. Go on, we've got 25 people watching out there now. Hit that like button. Get me algorithms jumping. That's what it's all about. Excuse me, there we go. There's the snipers. What are we on about? Yeah, everybody's jumping about. You've got the army paints, speed paints coming in. Didn't jump in contrast wagon though. I know guys sell the line, so I thought I'd give them a box. Yeah, I like grey and white for the minis because I can see the mist spots more easily. Yeah, that's true. The terrain use black, so the mist spots don't matter. Yeah, I'd use dark brown for terrain. Give them a go. No base white for those speed paints minis. Use a lot of contrast paints. Doing a zenithal undercoat is a must. Okay. I do sometimes wash a highly detailed figure after primer to help the details stand out. I guess that's the cheater's way of doing zenithal highlighting, isn't it? Though no. That's the easy way to do it. Yeah, we've got a lot of people watching tonight. It's good. If you are out there in the chat, say hello. Don't be shy. Just tell us what you're painting. Tell me if you're enjoying this or not. So this week on Sunday saw me play my third O group game in a week. I'm slightly obsessed with it over this last few weeks. Dean and I played another game and we did another battle report for it as well. So this is going to be that'll be out soon. I'm not going to put it out too soon because I want to clear some of my backlog before it comes out, but it's something to look forward to. Since moving from enamels a couple of years ago, I'm a complete sucker for painting fads, gets up to everything. Marketing dream. Right, enamels, man. God, I've not used those since I was a nipper painting my 1/35th Tamiya figures when I was about 13, before I even knew what wargaming was. I was been younger than that, probably when I was about 12. Such a pain to clean up and everything. Grey primer, black wash to pick out the details, help your eyes. Yeah, whatever works. Back at last. I'd sort out stuff for work tomorrow. Oh dear. Must be a marking nightwear then. Okay, getting emails from Screwfix sending me something. It must be a marketing nightmare because I rarely change once I find what I like. Yeah, I'm about the same, Thomas. So I do occasionally change my painting techniques, but it's not because of something that is currently being sold. It's because I just decide to try something new. I get there slowly. One moment. Text from the wife. No, not from the wife. Something else. Screwfix. They've sent me I bought some batteries earlier. They've sent me 2 emails in the last couple of seconds. They've just sent me a text message saying it's on its way. Oh God, alright, chill out, don't be so needy. The only problem is now they got me email address and my phone number. These plastic soldier company figures are so nice, so easy to paint. There's tons of detail on them, and they're nicely proportioned as well. They're a pleasure to play. You haven't used enamels since you were a kid? Yeah, I was the same. I used to paint with in the enamels with on the old Tamiya kits. At least they didn't chip. If nothing else. Or very rarely. Can't remember what my first acrylics were. It's probably some of the Umbro ones. I do know that, I'll show you in a second. I've got a Games Workshop Mithril Silver here. This. Is there a date on it? Doesn't actually say a date on it, but I know I've had this Mithril Silver and it's still wet. This is at least 20 years old, I'd say, and it's still wet, still works. Your Hobby Space has never smelled the same since moving away from enamels. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, paint thinner. Evening, Paul. Just tuned in, had late at work. Computer is away now, so sat basing a squadron of Argentinian cavalry. Excellent, good stuff. More obscure South American wars. Good stuff. Nothing wrong with that. And happy birthday for the other day, Paul, as well. Can't remember what day it was. I know it is your birthday. Dr. Onishi's 90s. I'm assuming that's that's about the Citadel paint. You notice that the most artistic painters, when showing realistic wood, for example, use enamels and acrylics. Yeah, that's true. First acrylics you had with the little Umbro tiny things. Yeah, I think they might have been mine as well. Yeah, I think I must have got a couple of them kicking. I think these ones here, these are pretty old. I don't know if I've got any of the smaller rounded ones. Here, those ones. Are these the ones you're talking about, James? Let's see if I can hold it up to the screen. Yeah. Those ones. Still got a few of those kicking about. That's the 90s era GW bottle. There you go. That's how long I've had it then. I remember people at the club talking about acrylics that would have water soluble paint them as stick. Yeah, acrylics can definitely last for 20 years. Tried some GW acrylics when they first came out, late 80s, 90s, hated them. Okay, stuck to enamels for ages and ages. Eventually the smell was banned from the house. I couldn't stand the corner in the garage. Good to have Julian. Good to have you on board. Tell us what you're painting tonight, if you're painting anything. Or just what you're up to, hobby-wise, in general. Sorry guys, I've got to ignore chat about, otherwise I'm never getting these finished. Unless I just turn this into an Ask Me Anything. Which is something I mean to do at some point. And I'll ask me anything, see what kind of questions come up. That would be fun. What was I saying? I used to use pigments for wall painting back in the day. Yeah, if you want to throw any questions in the chat, do so. It gives me something to talk about. You got any queries, burning queries that you want to get cleared up? Sorry, just concentrate on these last couple here. Once I've done this bigger bit, it's the rest of them are pretty easy. It's just trousers and helmets and stuff. They were pretty done. You didn't say illogical. Yeah, fear of the unknown is never logical, is it really? Yeah, I remember arguing with my mate about the enamels versus acrylics when we were teenagers. I remember being at Triples playing a Napoleonic game when we were teenagers, and he pointedly asked the guy who was running the game if the figures were painted with enamels or acrylics, and they were turned out to be acrylics, and he looked at me with a smug look on his face. Like, look, adults do it. Why are you still using enamels? I don't know why I remember that. It's obviously scarred me for life. That's HQ nearly done. The First World War archaeology DNA chat was fascinating last time. Cheers. Well, if you've got any more questions about it, don't be shy. Right, I need to do. The thing with these is they've got straps and stuff, which I don't really like, but it's a lot easier to paint once they're already on. You can just tap away. I was looking at actually when I was talking about the DNA stuff for the First World War archaeology. I was looking at the analytics on the video afterwards, and you can see the bit where I started talking about it because chat just dropped off. There wasn't a single thing in chat, and then you can see when I stopped talking about it because you all started chatting again. It was great. I think we'll see supply problems for paints and such. You see model prices rise significantly over. I think they're already going up, to be honest, Thomas. So a short answer being yes. I think that we will. There's already been an international shipping crisis, hasn't there, which I don't think is fully resolved at this point. So I think it might only get worse. But, you know, that's where we're at. It's not where we want to be, it's where we are. Right, so I'm going to do the helmets and the greens and stuff. Just get those done. That's easy. I'm kind of dreading, I'm putting it off. I don't really want to do the straps, but I said I wanted to get these finished tonight. As much as I can. You think it's inevitable? Yeah, models kits already have, yeah, exactly. A number of UK manufacturers put the prices up for kits and MDF kits. Yep. Who was it who went down recently? Foreground, was it? Because they said they're just the rising costs, they just can't cope with it. Probably not in the short term. Plastics may have a slight increase eventually. The margins are so large, I doubt it. Packaging the product is cost rather than the material. Maybe. We'll see. Time will tell. Is the short answer, isn't it? The question is now, do I bother highlighting the bazookas or not? I suppose I should, since I'm doing everything else. Foreground though, is it? Yeah. It's a pity to see it when companies go out of business. And they had some nice kits as well, Foreground. MDF kits going up, material costs are pretty much doubled, and energy shot up indeed. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's our fate. Can I do these? I don't think I'm going to get to those Churchills tonight. I did think I'd probably be pushing it a bit. I'm going to try to get these done, so at least I can get them varnished, and then I can finish off the bases for these tomorrow. That's a nice easy job to do. Evening, Gerald. Do people think it's a cheap hobby? Anyway, considering yeah, it is a cheap hobby. You know, try looking after horses. As you know, the amount of money that you spend on this hobby is tiny compared to stuff like, you know, motorboating or things like that. Didn't think about the MDF. Makes sense with lumber going up. Yeah. Don't forget 3D printers eating into the market. There is that as well. Do I use Vallejo, Army Painter or Citadels? Mostly Vallejo. I don't have. I think the only Army Painter I've got is one strong tone wash, which I bought years ago, which I've not really used much. And I've got very few Citadel paints, apart from Agrax Earthshade, which is by far the best product that anybody has ever produced. That's the only one that I use. I've got some older Citadel paints that I very rarely use, to be honest. We're not taking the risk, panic buy batteries. Well, one more question. Mad Minute. Germans thought it was a machine gun fire seater we discredited now. Where did the machine gun view start from? Do you mean the one at Licato, Mons? I think he was it was just a post-war invention. Just really just to. I think it actually probably came originally from the British machine guns that they did have. But yeah, it wasn't anywhere near as good as they said it was. But 1914 is not really an area that I know a great deal about, to be honest. I do know that's a myth. Most 15mm metal miniatures are now 50p each. Yeah, when you're on 28, cost less than that. Well, you're an old man now, Dex. You're an old man. Might be expensive per pound of stuff you buy up front. Almost no upkeep costs. Once you pay an army, you get to enjoy it forever. That is true. Yeah. What I like about Vallejo paints is they provide oral colours. Yes, they do as that. What am I painting, Julian? I am painting an American battalion for O Group. 1944 American battalion. This is Plastic Soldier Company's Plastic Americans box. I've just done so I've already done two companies, that's the third one there, which I just finished off tonight, and this is just the odds and sods. So this is the combat patrols, which you don't really need, but I've done it at the HQ, which again you don't really need, it's just a dice holder. And I've got some snipers here and some bazooka teams and a forward observation officer. So they're all for O Group. I'm just trying to get them. In my opinion, one of the best paints to paint plastic miniatures. Well, in my opinion, it would be Vallejo, because they're the ones that I use. I think they're great. They're great paints. There's a big range. There's a lot to go at. I just bought a bog standard army set, army colours, military colours set years ago, and they've done me well. Basically, I've never really needed. All I've done is just replace them as I've used them up. There was a good range of colours in them. They're not cheap, but no Wargaming paints are really. But they are very nice paints. They've got good pigments in them. As I say, a good choice as well. Obviously, everybody's a bit different. And that's mine. What about everybody else? I think Vallejo are the best for military historical. Yeah, Army Painter and Citadel for best for fantasy. Yes, yeah, I agree with that, I think. Remember that outrage at your club when minifigs 25mm went from 19 to 20p? Made working out the price easier. Indeed. Yeah, it's a bit more easy to divide by 19 than by 20 than it is 19. Yeah. No worries, Gerald. So I've got a few other paints that I use as well. Like I've got some of these like Decor Art or Americana they're called. They're just cheap jack paints that I paint like buildings and things with, or big areas and stuff. I might, if I'm undercoating figures, I might use those just because they're cheap and they go far. But they're not, like that is fawn, but it's basically khaki. So it works the same, so I'll use it as the same. And I've got yellow I'm dry brushing green, and there I've got brick red for buildings, because I've got a load of buildings in recently, so I bought some of that. But yeah, the vast majority of my stuff is Vallejo. Let's see what you can see up here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera here as well at the back. Colour 75. Yeah, my friend, he's big into his Colour 75. He's been on about them for a while. Light brown and wood grain for most things. Good stuff. Yeah, the Colour 75 stuff. Yeah, I don't really have like a painting loyalty. It's just because I know that these are good. If I found something that was good, that was a Games Workshop product, like Agrax Earthshade, I would, I'd be quite happy to use that. It's just that Vallejo do the colours that I like, and I know that they're, I can buy their colours, and they're going to work as they were before, really. Army Painter plus cheap paste for terrain, cool. Similar to me, but just different. You're telling me you could get a mini for the price of two Fredos? Foundry paints are good. I've not tried those, Andy, but yeah. So they do the the trio triage system, don't they? Foundry. So they're already sorted for you. So that's quite a nice idea, nice way. Another question. I hope they don't mind. No, ask questions. What are the best World War II plastic figures? And quite a few Airfix experimental Wargame figures. It depends what scale you're after. I'm going to say if you want 20mm stuff, plastic figures, I would say Plastic Soldier Company's figures. I don't know what their 20mm stuff like is, but I'm currently painting a load of 15mm of theirs, and I like their figures a lot. And they're pretty good price, about 20 quid for a box. I don't know what other plastic manufacturers there are out there, in particular 20mm, so I wouldn't be able to say beyond that. But that would be, I would have a look at their ranges. They're probably not a massive range. They've just come out with some ultracast ones. They've got some US Marines in 20mm, and they look absolutely fantastic. I just wish they were talking about them last night on the podcast. I think it was one of Dom's news features, but I saw them as well on the Plastic Soldier Company's website, and they look fantastic. Really nicely paint up. I wish they did them in 15mm. Citadel's paints reds are fabulous. Yeah, I've heard that a lot about their reds. I don't use them, but I've heard them. You can go with Vallejo, Paul, mainly because your local department store will have the full range. Well, there you go. Saves on postage and weights goes to show. That's good. Yeah, I wish my local department store had a Vallejo section. I'd be very happy with that. What department store sells Vallejos? You grab any paint that works. I refuse to let GWC another penny from me, even if the washers are amazing. Fair enough. Get them from a different seller. I've used a Foundry Prussian Blue, really nice result, but I found the paints challenging to use. Probably just practice though. Yeah, I think they are. They're based around Kev Dallimore, aren't they? And his painting techniques, which are absolutely beautiful. But there's no way I'd ever be able to replicate that. Right. God, this is the brain-hurting bit. Tamiya spray painter, plastic and metal, fair enough. I was massively disappointed with a few Foundry paints I tried, probably just me. There's lots of other choices. Yeah, you like to try the triads. Yeah, I mean they're set up for them, aren't they, the Foundry things. It's one of those things, isn't it? Some people will swear by a particular paint range, some people swear at them. You use what you use, and if you like it, you like it. It's like everything, isn't it? There's no best rules. There's the rules that you like, and there's the rules that other people like. Same with paints. Boys, yeah. Well, I'd like to ask you something about gaming systems. What's best early First World War system in my opinion? Boys. Well, just saying. What is best is probably not what I like. Is a different matter. Personally, I like Through the Mud and Blood by the Two Fat Lardies. That's a great First World War game, but it's skirmish level, so about 40 figures a side. But I also like Square Bashing by Peter Pigg as well a lot, which is a bit more battalion level and grid based as well, and a great game. I never had a bad game of it, apart from the very first one we played when we couldn't understand what was happening. It is a really good game. So they were my go-to. We were just talking about this on Twitter earlier on. There's another game called that I really wanted to like. It was called Playing Leapfrog, and you're gaming as a corps commander, You're trying to get assets for the attack from your army commander. I definitely go over Wargame Sisters that I know of. I don't know about that. I need to get a test game of Blood and Valor in before CrackCon 2. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know how it'll play. Don't know what it's. Don't know anything about it at all, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see what it's like. But for me, I think it'd have to go quite a long way to beat Through the Mud and the Blood. But I think if you watched enough of these live streams and my videos enough, you know where my loyalties lie. But yeah, I got hold of thingy as well, Great War Spearhead, before, and that's always had good reviews, but it was almost impossible to read. It was so turgid, I could not get through it at all. It was so dry. And the same with thingy, playing Leapfrog. It was so hard to read, but it should be. It looks like it's a really interesting game because your core commander's trying to all fighting for artillery assets and support units and things whilst you're trying to push forward. So the concept of it was really interesting, and the kind of level of gaming that I'm interested in. But I just could not understand it because it was so badly written. But then that's what you get for a $10 game off Wargames, off the Wargames vault, isn't it? I guess. Firelock games seem to be in between Lardy and Bolt Action. Yeah, okay. Do they do the Iron Cross as well? Is it called Iron Cross, the Second World War one? I've seen that floating around, and the covers at least of those books look similar. So that's probably why I'm thinking of it. Or am I thinking of somebody else? Now, speaking of Lardies, it looks like Strength and Honor is close to being released, which is nice. Looks like that'll be an interesting game, so I think a lot of people will be playing that. There'll be some games of that down at the club, I should think. It's not really a period I'm particularly interested in, the later Roman period, but I certainly wouldn't mind having a game of it just to try it out, see what it's like. Sorry, I'm just kind of concentrating on their straps at the moment. There's a lot to do on these. And this is a bit annoying. Great Escape, that's it. MFI is live at 15:30 CT soon after. Must be on a similar frequency these days. I suppose I am. What time is that in the UK? 9:30. Can anyone suggest a good, easy to understand World War II war game for a beginner, not too complicated? I used to play Rapid Fire while I wasn't joining too. Well, Rapid Fire is relatively simple, isn't it? Iron Cross, a Great Escape game. Yeah, 5 Men in Normandy is very easy. Yes, 5 Men in Normandy is a great game as well, and good fun. Another couple of times I've played it. Chain of Command is the best, but yeah, for somebody who's going to start out, I would go with Bolt Action. So I was reading Bolt Action rules the other day, and I was just thinking I could have written this. This is all pretty simple stuff, but it's a good intro game. Whereas Chain of Command takes a little bit more thinking about. The proponents of both of them would say that, I think, as well. Yeah, so when I finished up here, if you lot go over and watch Modelling for Advantage, guys, go and say hello to them. I'll probably duck out soon enough anyway. It's 8:45 here. I kind of really want to push on with these and just get them done, but I'm starting to feel tired. I normally only paint for about an hour or so sometimes. I didn't have a great sleep last night, so I might just get a few more done of these and then come back and finish them off tomorrow, because I've still got to highlight the trousers and stuff. And then at least it means I'm not clashing with the MFA guys. There's no point everybody competing for an audience, is there? Is that all of them done? No, not yet. I can hardly see what's happening with them. BA's an easy game. Much more expensive and extensive. Yeah, you can make it as cheap as you want, I guess. 5-man Norman's like $20. Yeah, that's true. It's got to be simple, easy to follow, so you don't lose interest. I'd love to know what Modelling for Advantage means. Yeah, I've often wondered that as well, James. I've never really understood it either. Perhaps you should ask them in their stream, and then report back to me. Or I might go over and I might ask it. Oh, I did think I'd be biting off more than I can chew by trying to finish these tonight, all of them anyway. The big thing I wanted to get done today was that company. The rest of this stuff will just slot into place, but I wanted to get this entire battalion finished by next week before I bugger off, so I can clear the desk off a bit. But I'll definitely have these finished by the end of this week, if nothing else. Comes from playing 40k, I believe, where people will go for the flavour of the month before nerfs. Oh, okay. Yeah. They're big into their Flames of War over there, aren't they? Well, there you go. There's another relatively simple World War II set actually that we forgot is Flames of War, but obviously you'll need a lot of tanks for that. I mean, stuff like bolt action is you probably only need about 40 figures for it. Whereas you're going to need a lot more tanks for Flames of War. But everybody loves tanks. Let's see where we at. By my standards, you're a hobby machine. I don't know about that. There's a lot of meetings where I can just sit and paint while I'm listening to people waffle on. Working from home has its advantages sometimes. But then, like tomorrow, I've got to drive for 2 hours to a meeting. So I probably won't get a great deal done tomorrow. I'll probably be too tired by the time I get home. But we'll see. I mean, these Americans have been sat in the to-do pile for probably, I don't know, good 18 months maybe. A bit less. It was just playing O Group over the last week that gave me the impetus to start them and to get them finished. And also I've been doing a lot of terrain of late as well, so I just decided that I wanted to swap over a little bit and just have a bit of a cleanser. So painting a bunch of figures is a nice easy way of doing that, really, isn't it? Bolt action put you off as it's pricey. Yeah, it is, but you could just buy the rules and then just buy figures from elsewhere. It doesn't have to be the Warlord figures. I wouldn't, you can get them from all over the place. It's bad for cleaning and basing and getting undercoated and maybe one gets painted. Yeah, I tried to push my way through that kind of thing. I just tried to get it done. If I've started something, I don't allow myself to start anything else. But then, having said that, I've started those trucks and then I've started these. Water Tanker, yeah, it's another good game. You only need a couple of tanks, and yeah, that's a good one. See something, buy, repeat. Yeah, I generally don't do that. I buy stuff that I want, that I need at the time. That's my my ethos, really. Yeah, I've got a lead pile, but it's all stuff that is things that I will use and will paint at some point. I very, very, very rarely go in for new shiny syndrome. The last time I did it was with Infamy. And that's largely because everybody was taking a piss over on TMP, and it gave me the impetus to buy the game. And it was a great game. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't for me because I wasn't not particularly interested in that period. O Group. I bought O Group simply because I came to Chain of Command after playing Rapid Fire, and O Group is same level as Chain of Command battalion level. So it's a level of gaming that I wanted to. You could do that. I'm assuming that's just buy figures from elsewhere. Yeah, you don't have to play with the Warlord figures. There's a million manufacturers out there. Do it in 50mm. It's even cheaper. You don't even need to do it in 28mm. I'll say I've half a mind to play a couple of games of Bolt Action on the channel just to see how it goes. But I'd do it in 15mm. As a bit of an experiment to see what the reaction would be, if nothing else. But I thought about doing that and then also doing a Chain of Command game as well. You know what? I'm close to finishing these, so I think I might do. I've got to do these bits and pieces. I've also then got to do the trousers. Just highlight the trousers, but then that would be then finished. So let me just get through these and we'll see where we are. I've got loads of Punic War stuff waiting for the new Infamy supplement for a reason to paint it. Good stuff, yeah. Yeah, it's a great game. I played it at Ebor Lard over in York. John ran, and he was a great tutor. And I played a few games of it as well on the channel, just as a tester. I was saying, having been dyed in the wool 15mm years, I'm looking at O Group, thinking it might be good in 6mm. Yeah, I do think about doing 6mm for O Group as well, Dex, but it would just, I don't know, it'd break me just starting another thing. I'm already up to my knees in 15mm, so it's a nice easy way in, no messing. Like 28mm was created just because when everything can be played 25-15, you spend a lot less money and a great selection. So wanted to like Infamy, but I found it overly complicated. Okay, if we stuffed it, it might have been a keeper. What did you find complicated in it? The different manoeuvres and stuff. Gone. I think it's a bit like sharp practice in that, you don't really know what you're doing for the first few games you play of it, and then it kind of something clicks and you go, I can do this, this and this, not just this with the cards. And I think that's the same with Infamy. you know, I played it quite a few times on my own solo, and then, as I say, the best game I played of it was when John Savage was showing us how to play it at Ebor Lard, and it was excellent because he was, you know, just explaining all the different bits and pieces that you could do with the cards that you had at hand and stuff. It's a great game. It turned out to be a great game, at least. There you go. Play bolt action in 20mm, cheap for the figures and stuff. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. Just because the rules come with a set of figures attached, you don't mean to say you've got to use those figures. That's how it. 5 to 9. I'll look into bolt action with 20mm. Yeah, you should play with Airfix figures. It'd be dead cheap then. No problems. This has been a nice little busy paint and chat tonight. It's been good. I think it's all the special stuff, but to be honest, we were all trying to learn at the same time. Yeah, if you pay it funny. Yeah, I think I find that with Lardy games, if one person knows it very, very well, they're better off just umpiring it for everybody else and just showing them what they can do and how they can do it. Because there's a lot of subtleties in the different in the card play tied in with the drill manuals. So you really just have to concentrate on one thing and just experiment with it, I guess. Because to me, the Lardy games aren't games about. They're not games about winning. They're games about playing. Like, you know, who wins the game is not so important. It's about, you know, everybody having fun whilst it's happening. And I think something like that, like Infamy, it's a case that, you know, instead of trying to win in your first few games, just try to play it and try all the different things out that you can do. That gives you an idea. That's so many 20mm figures to choose from. All the 1/72 kits work. Yeah, exactly that. You've got massive choice when it comes to 20mm figures. And cheap as well. That's the other thing. Sorry chaps, I'm just concentrating here. Just getting these last bits done. So I'm now looking at just painting their trousers, and it doesn't need a huge amount to be done. So I think I might do them. I might get it done tonight, and then if I get these sprayed with what we call it, with varnish. See, I can't think. I'm so tired. I can't even think. I can't think straight. But I'm certainly getting through these, if nothing else. Yeah, if I spray them then with varnish, I'll just need to finish the bases off tomorrow and they're done. Yeah, like cheap. Yeah. Most of the stuff labeled as 20mm is really 22, 24. Usually falls into 1/72. Yeah, exactly. It's very prolific. Most model shops have 1/72 scale stuff. These are the last. I think that's the last bit I've got to do. They're done. Yeah, they're done. They're done. Yep. Right, trousers now. Should probably pay somebody's as well as listening. That's the whole reason for this, James, is for people to be painting while they're listening. What time are the modelling for Advantage guys on at? In half an hour? If that's the case, I'm going to do the trousers on these and then I'm going to call it a day. Ooh. It's also my back is hurting as well. Does anyone solo wargamer? Yes, I do. My channel is full of solo wargames. I also play with friends, but I do solo game as well. Not to mention all the H1L, Ultra, all that stuff. All works nicely. Right, let's get these trousers done. It's quite an easy little part, this, and then they're finished. All I'm doing is just highlighting the highest areas on these. So like with all my 15mm figures, I just block colour them, wash them with Agrax, and then just paint the highlights back in again with the original base colour. Dead easy. Yeah, 930. Okay. You do solo exclusively, not many people know are into wargaming. So yeah. I do it just for filming on the channel. It's a nice easy way of making videos and not interfering with other people's games. But Dean and I have started doing battle reports as well, so that might be something that we continue. I think people seem to enjoy it. 9:30, right. I've got to be done by 9:30 then, haven't I? I'm not going to stay up too late anyway, because I've got to be up early tomorrow. Up to sunny Cumbria. Going to be out most of the day as well. Yeah, these are. I'll get these done tonight. Nice and easy. I don't know what I was thinking, quitting halfway through. You've all gone quiet. Have you gone over to the Modelling for Advantage channel? Left me on my own. Yeah, I've heard that about Nuts, Thomas. That it's a good game for soloing. I've never tried it. For skirmish stuff though, I'm a chainer, dyed-in-the-wool chainer command guy. I like it a lot. It's a nice easy technique that I've got here where I'm just basically just painting little stripes on everywhere. That was sun up north. No, that was a joke. Still painting some Romans. Good. Good stuff. I hope you've been reading O Group Rules, Andy, for ready for CrackCon. I've been trying to get as many games in as possible so I can remember the base rules at least. And they're starting to sit in my head as well now, which is nice. Which is what I need. Okay, Grandpa duties are calling. Good stuff. Thanks a million. Thanks for joining us, Charles. Trying to get your painting done as well. Good stuff. That's what it's all about. Nearly there. They're laid out well. Yes, they are. They are. Everything's relatively easy to find. The only thing I find is there is occasionally there's a rule that's just buried in a sentence, so it's quite hard to find it again. There's a couple of things like units staying in the beaten zone after an artillery attack. It's just mentioned in a line in one of the tables. So if you don't read the table, you wouldn't even notice it was there. I've been trying to play it off the play sheets as well as much as possible without referring to the book, because that's just an easier way to play a game. Right, nearly there. Making good progress on crack comp prep. Good. Much more relaxed than painting 10 battalions of Prussians in a month like last time. Yes, I can imagine. Don't stretch yourself. You know, put on a game that you've got all the figures for already. Are you putting you're putting a game on? Are you, aren't you, James? Just got the last couple of these to do now. Time is my enemy. So we go 5 past. Anyone tried 148 tactic? No, don't know that one. Never even heard of it. Or if I had, I've forgotten about it. Right, okay, we've got these snipers left, and then that's going to be me, excuse me, wrapping up for the evening, because I can feel my eyes shutting. You want to get yourself in on O Group as well, Dom, at CrackCon, if you get a chance, and take command of a company. You're doing a mix of Blood and Valour and Blood and Plunder. Blood and Plunder. Right, nearly there. Last 2 to do now. I saw it on YouTube and it looked good. Okay. Well, check it out. It looks like a good game. I'm sure it is. And here's my final figure for tonight. I did it in, how long's it taken? 1 hour and 38 minutes to get all of these finished off. That's all those Americans painted. They just need basing, which, as I say, I'll do tomorrow because I need to varnish them now. And I'm going to do that off camera. And I'm going to frighten Tiny to death because she's come up to join me. She doesn't like the spraying. Right, Blood and Plunder, O Group, and Italian Wars. Oh yeah, plans, good stuff. Let's hope I don't have to actually do anything. Right guys, I'm going to sign off. I suggest you all pop over to the Modelling for Advantage people in 20 minutes and go and give them some views. Say hello from me. I'm going to go to bed. I don't know why they're starting their stream so late. Well, that's the way it is. Right, thanks for everybody for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. It's always good to have you all on board. Hello Leslie, good to see you here. Just commenting at the last minute, and I shall say good night and thanks again for watching. Check out the Storm and Steel Facebook group, go and join that. Like the Storm and Steel Facebook page and all the other stuff as well, and I shall see you next time.